The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, November 22, 2024, hint at a whirlwind of tension and uncertainty in Genoa City. The air in the city is thick with suspense, as recent events leave residents grappling with shifting alliances and reopening old wounds. Phyllis Awakening, a fragile hope. Phyllis Summers awakens from her coma, but recovery is anything but straightforward. Her dry throat and inability to speak reveal significant nerve damage. Elena, her closest confidant, reassures her, saying, "Phyllis, you're awake. That's what matters. The rest will take time." Despite Elena's encouragement, Phyllis's prognosis remains uncertain, and her recovery will require immense willpower. A vow of vengeance, Lucy and Daniel's pledge. In a dimly lit living room, Lucy and Daniel Newman are united by their shared grief and anger. Tears stream as Daniel vows, "We can't let Sharon get away with this. She's responsible for everything." Lucy's resolve hardens, agreeing, "No matter what it takes, we'll make her pay." Their determination to seek justice for Phyllis solidifies their bond and sets them on a dangerous path. A strategic transition, Jill and Nikki's meeting. In Chancellor Abbott Industries, Jill Abbott and Nikki Newman sit tensely across from one another. Jill surprises Nikki with a bouquet, saying, "Congratulations. You're the new CEO of Chancellor Abbott." While Nikki accepts the role with mixed emotions, Jill's gesture is a calculated move to stabilize the company and protect Victor's interests. Billy's confusion, a silent struggle. Billy Abbott observes the exchange between Jill and Nikki with growing unease. He struggles to understand Jill's jubilance over selling the company, suspecting deeper motives. The weight of family politics leaves Billy feeling isolated and unable to voice his concerns. Reconciliation of rivals, Jordan and Ian unite. In a secluded part of town, Jordan and Ian Ward forge an unlikely alliance. Jordan begins, "The chaos in Genoa City isn't benefiting either of us. We need to focus on the bigger picture." Ian agrees, "Our enemies are formidable. Together, we present a united front." Their reconciliation shifts the balance of power, with plans to challenge the Newman family. Victor's dilemma, a hidden threat. Victor Newman faces the dual challenge of protecting his empire and rescuing his kidnapped granddaughters, Mariah and Claire. In a meeting with Abby Newman and Paul Williams, Victor declares, "Maria and Claire are out there somewhere. We must find them before Ian and Jordan strike again." Victor's resolve leads him to consider negotiations with dangerous adversaries, prioritizing the safety of his family. A city on edge, the double abduction. The simultaneous disappearances of Mariah Copeland and Claire Newman plunge Genoa City into panic. Mariah, a symbol of resilience, and Claire, a defiant force, vanish under mysterious and calculated circumstances. Their families rally to uncover clues as the community feels the weight of meticulously planned kidnappings. Jordan and Ian's ruthless strategy. In their secret lair, Jordan and Ian finalize their plan to destabilize the Newmans. Jordan states coldly, "By taking Mariah and Claire, we send a clear message to Victor." Their ruthless tactics aim to dismantle the Newman family's power while plunging the city into chaos. Unseen battles, loyalty, and betrayal. Lucy and Daniel's pursuit of vengeance intertwines with Victor's mission to save his granddaughters, creating new tensions. Meanwhile, Billy's internal struggle with Jill's motives leaves him a wild card in the unfolding drama. As Phyllis battles her fragile condition, her recovery will have ripple effects on Genoa City's power dynamics, forcing everyone to confront their limits in the face of turmoil. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Soap Spectrum. I am Emily here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Sharon Newman's shocking confession. Will The Young and the Restless iconic love story survive the chaos? The Young and the Restless continues to deliver jaw-dropping drama, with Sharon Newman at the heart of a scandal that has rocked Genoa City. In a shocking turn of events, Sharon confessed to her involvement in Heather Stevens' untimely death and a slew of other crimes. The emotional revelation left her loved ones stunned and divided, with the repercussions threatening to tear her family apart. A startling confession. In a tear-filled scene, Sharon admitted to Nick Newman that she not only believes she caused Heather's death, but also confessed to cleaning up the crime scene and framing Daniel Rumalotti. As if that weren't enough, Sharon revealed she suspects herself of being responsible for the car accident that left Phyllis Summers in a coma. Nick, horrified yet steadfast, has hired Michael Baldwin to defend Sharon against the mounting charges. Despite his doubts, Nick's unwavering loyalty highlights his deep bond with Sharon, sparking speculation among fans about a possible rekindling of their iconic romance. A family in turmoil. The confession has left Sharon's daughters, Faith Newman and Mariah Copeland, reeling. Both struggle to reconcile their mother's loving nature with the heinous acts she's confessed to. Meanwhile, viewers know the truth. Heather's death was orchestrated by Ian Ward and Jordan as part of a twisted plot to destroy Sharon. With these villains still at large, Genoa City is bracing for more chaos before the real culprits are exposed. Sharon's inner struggles. Sharon's guilt and deteriorating mental health add another layer of complexity to the storyline. She's been withholding crucial details about her blackouts and hallucinations from her attorney, Michael Baldwin, potentially sabotaging her own defense. In the November 19 episode, Sharon's struggles were on full display as she grappled with the possibility of jail time or a stint in a treatment facility. Her fragile state has fans questioning whether she can overcome these challenges before the truth about Ian and Jordan emerges. Phyllis Summers' wrath looms. As Sharon's fate hangs in the balance, the threat of Phyllis Summers looms large. Once Phyllis awakens from her coma, she's likely to unleash her fury on Sharon, seeking justice for her injuries. However, her relentless pursuit of revenge could strain her already fragile dynamic with Nick, adding another layer of tension to the unfolding drama. A glimmer of hope for Chic fans. Amid the chaos, there's a silver lining for fans of Sharon and Nick's enduring love story. Despite the turmoil, Nick's unwavering support for Sharon hints at the possibility of reconciliation. Sharon's recent dreams about Nick and her efforts to impress him on a date weeks ago suggest their connection remains strong. As Sharon prepares for what could be her final days of freedom, she may share a bittersweet farewell with her family, including Faith, Mariah, Tessa Porter, and little Area Porter Copeland. A heartfelt goodbye with Nick could lead to an emotional and passionate moment, reigniting the spark that has captivated fans for decades. A path to redemption. With the truth about Heather's death slowly unraveling, there's hope that Sharon will be exonerated, paving the way for a true reconciliation with Nick. For now, viewers are left on the edge of their seats, eager to see how this dramatic storyline unfolds, and whether love will triumph over adversity for one of Genoa City's most iconic couples. Stay tuned to The Young and the Restless as secrets continue to surface, tensions rise, and the fate of Sharon Newman takes center stage in this gripping tale of love, betrayal, and redemption. The latest episode of The Young and the Restless takes a dramatic turn as Nick makes the agonizing decision to call chance to arrest Sharon. As tensions rise, Sharon is left grappling with the consequences of her actions and the unbearable guilt she's carried for so long. But just as the situation seems dire, fans are stunned when Sharon is swiftly bailed out, leaving everyone to question her next move. This shocking twist is just the beginning, as secrets are unveiled and the stakes grow higher for everyone involved. Nick is caught in an emotional whirlwind when Sharon finally confesses to him about the dark secrets she's been hiding. Desperate to make amends, Sharon admits her role in Heather's death, insisting that it was an accident. she tearfully confesses that she tried to cover it up out of fear for their family, and now, unable to carry the guilt any longer, she pleads with Nick to call Chance and allow her to face the consequences. But Nick, struggling to reconcile the woman he knows with the one she's revealed herself to be, hesitates, even questioning whether Sharon's medication could be distorting her mind. Meanwhile, the Newman family drama intensifies as Summer and Faith's rivalry takes a new twist. Their mother's ongoing feud with Nick only adds fuel to the fire, putting them on opposite sides of the battle. As the tension escalates, Summer and Faith find themselves caught in a storm of accusations, hurt feelings, and long-buried grudge. Elsewhere, Kyle is rocked by the truth about his parents' lies. Jack and Diane reveal that their heated arguments were all part of an elaborate ruse designed to protect Kyle from Victor's manipulative influence. Diane, visibly emotional, expresses her regret for the pain this deception caused, but she insists it was the only way to free Kyle from Victor's grip. Kyle, feeling betrayed by both of his parents, is left reeling, questioning their motives and whether their actions have truly been for his benefit. The tension between the Abbott and Newman families reaches a boiling point, with Victor's manipulative behavior threatening to tear everything apart. Kyle is forced to confront the harsh reality of his parents' actions, and the fallout from their deception sends shockwaves through Genoa City. As Kyle struggles to process the truth, he is faced with an impossible choice: to trust the people who claim to protect him, or to turn his back on them forever. Meanwhile, the battle for power continues as Sally plots her own brand of revenge, and Daniel grows increasingly disillusioned with Sharon. The tension between family members and enemies alike threatens to boil over, as everyone seems to have their own agenda. But just when you think the drama can't get any more intense, Diane's mysterious sacrifice throws everything into further chaos. In a final twist, Chance arrives at Sharon's house to arrest her, but not before Nick makes a heart-wrenching decision to support her. Sharon's emotional breakdown only adds to the already heightened drama, and as she is taken into custody, the entire town is left to grapple with the shocking revelations that have come to light. The episode ends on a cliffhanger, leaving fans eagerly awaiting the next chapter in this explosive saga. Get ready for another thrilling episode of Asterisk, The Young and the Restless Asterisk. The drama is far from over, and the consequences of these explosive secrets will ripple through the lives of everyone involved. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Billy Abbott will get updates on Victor Newman's offer to Jill Abbott and fume when he learns she's actually considering it. Jill will have to admit that Victor's willing to pay far more than Abbott Chancellor is worth, so that'll be a major selling point. Of course, Billy will argue that this is about more than just money. It's about preserving Jill's legacy and leaving one for his own children. Although Jiva and Newman Enterprises are career path options for Johnny Abbott and Katie Abbott someday, Billy wanted Abbott Chancellor to be an option as well. That's why Billy was trying to fulfill Jill's demands and get his act together before her deadline. Even after firing Phyllis Summers and restoring his partnership with Laylee Winters, it won't be enough to save Billy's job. Jill's going to make this sale despite Billy's disapproval, since she'll feel comfortable leaving her own legacy, as well as Catherine Chancellor's, in Nikki Newman's hands. Billy will no doubt blow his top and could eventually vow revenge on Victor for setting all this in motion. This deal will be a huge mistake as far as Billy's concerned, since he doesn't trust Victor one bit. My and our fans can expect Billy and Victoria Newman to do some clashing during Abby Newman Abbott and Devon Hamilton Winters' marriage festivities. Victoria may try to talk Billy out of whatever retaliation he might be planning, for the kids' sake if nothing else. However, Billy will be hopping mad and may not be deterred from any vengeful plans following Jill's news. We could see Billy spin out with a sinister downward spiral, but that could hurt him more than it hurts Victor in the end. Sally Spectra may have to step up and save Billy from himself, so we'll bring you predictions on what she might do if Billy goes off the rails. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Billy has some business curveballs ahead, but maybe Sally can get him to focus on something more positive, like their budding romance. CDL's where you want to be for great Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so make us your go-to Y and R source. Is Y and R character outstaying their welcome? One of the most tantalizing characters of the Young and the Restless is back in the spotlight. A post featuring a picture of a certain Y and R character has caught eyeballs and gained traction on Reddit. Why, you ask? The post argued whether they should be killed off or not, as if they haven't suffered enough bruises already. Yep, the talks of axing Michelle Stafford's Phyllis Summer is going on. How do the fans react? Debate alert. Should Phyllis go? The Young and the Restless fandom went gaga over the Reddit post featuring injured Phyllis from the hospital. It reads, "If Josh Griffith wants to raise the stakes, he would kill her off." The audacity. The question is, will the writers actually go there, given that Phyllis is the definition of soap opera gold? In no time, fans dropped their 2 cents in the comments section. One fan wrote, "Are you kidding? She actually knows how to act." Additionally, another rooted for the character, highlighting how outspoken, over-the-top, edgy, and essential is on the show. They pleaded, "Her superpower is evident in many arenas. Keep Fiev while Elias alive." Meanwhile, others pointed out Y and R's past mistakes, like letting Heather kick the bucket. According to a Redditor, Josh wouldn't be able to handle writing Phyllis's death with the depth it truly deserves. The Nick Phyllis shippers also emerged and wished Sharon would die before Phyllis did. Conversely, an insignificant number of folks shared their criticism of the character. Ultimately, it's crystal clear where the opinion stands. Phyllis is indispensable. Now, let's recap that fatal crash. Related read, Sharon will soon be behind bars. What? Read more here. It left Phyllis in critical condition as she remained unresponsive. Her kids, Summer and Daniel, who were rallying by her bedside, were desperate for answers. Moreover, Summer recalled her dad mentioning Phyllis had run off the road and crashed into a tree. That made Daniel question if this was truly accidental or staged by someone. He was indeed right, as Ian and Jordan masterminded the crash to frame Sharon. Nevertheless, viewers aren't ready to lose Phyllis anytime soon. Whether she's locking horns with rivals or going sane, people love to watch her. Here's hoping the Y and R writers are listening and not letting the fans down. In the meantime, keep reading Soap Opera Daily for more juicy speculations on the Young and the Restless. What do you think? Should Phyllis stay or go? Drop your thoughts below. In this intense installment of The Young and the Restless, tensions escalate as shocking truths come to light, leaving the residents of Genoa City grappling with betrayal, heartbreak, and unexpected twists. Since it was revealed on The Young and the Restless that Jordan and Ian Ward had somehow escaped prison and teamed up together to torment Sharon, we've been doing some thinking. Mainly, we've wondered what the conditions are in this villainous alliance, and after going after Sharon and hospitalizing Phyllis, who may be next on their hit list, as it pertains to what made Jordan and Ian agree to work together, that becomes slightly clearer in the Young and the Restless episode airing. In their seedy motel, Jordan is ready to pop champagne bottles in celebration of Sharon confessing to murder and being arrested. However, before Ian celebrates, he wants to know how Sharon's loved ones reacted to the news of Sharon's crimes. Specifically, he asks about the reactions of Mariah and Faith. Jordan admits she hasn't been able to find any information about how Sharon's kids are taking the news, and that leaves Ian rather upset. He notes the whole point of their scheme against her was to pull Sharon away from all the people that she loves. Ian then goes on to remind Jordan about the deal they struck. He claims, "I made it clear from the beginning. If you help me, then I'll help you and your family problem. Crisscross. Understood?" Now, given all we know so far, it would seem that Jordan has done most of the heavy lifting when it comes to setting up Sharon and destroying her life, doing the work as a favor for Ian. In return, we suspect that Ian will use his years of manipulating the Newmans and people in general to guide Jordan on how she should go about her next move in her Newman vendetta. With that being said, it would be easy to assume that Ian would help Jordan once again go after Nikki in particular. After all, he has known Nikki for decades and knows how to push her buttons. However, since Jordan continually goes after Nikki first and eventually fails, we think there's a chance that under Ian's guidance, Jordan changes her target. If we're right, that could spell bad news for Claire. Claire has done a remarkable job at transforming her life. She went from being Jordan's vindictive weapon in this Newman feud to becoming a well-liked and well-respected woman in Genoa City. More importantly, Claire has become a bona fide member of the Newman family, being embraced by Victoria, Victor, and Nikki, and Claire has turned her back on Jordan. It was clear during Jordan's last run that she felt betrayed by Claire, claiming she raised her and loved her, only for Claire to side with the enemy. So could Jordan's first strike be against Claire before she attacks the other Newmans? It's also worth noting that while Jordan may want revenge for the betrayal, she may also want to win Claire back under her control. We can picture a scenario where Jordan tries to rip away everything good in Claire's life. It's possible Jordan secretly sets out to destroy Claire's blossoming relationship with Kyle, sour the family bond Claire has with Victoria and her newfound siblings, and sabotage Claire's new position working with Nikki. Then, when Claire feels like her life is falling apart again and she's one big disappointment to her new family, Jordan pops back up to tell her great niece, "I told you so," before welcoming her back with open arms. Furthermore, Jordan may hope to recruit Claire again to go after the Newmans. For now, our Jordan/Claire theory is just that. But we'd be remiss if we didn't think it could become a real possibility. Also, something tells us that Cole may also be in trouble. Ray Wise is thrilled to be back on Young and Restless as his legendary baddie, Ian Ward, 8 long years, as he told Insider in a new interview, since his initial daytime Emmy-winning run from 2014 to 2015 and a return trip to the show in 2016. Wise's comeback was kept a big secret with scripts, and even his parking space on the CBS lot, referring to him only as Mr. X now that Kat is out of the bag, and the actor couldn't be happier. Back in Genoa City again. In remembering the first stint he had on the show in which he tortured a lot of folks and won a daytime Emmy in the guest performer category for it, Wise fondly recalled to the website, "I worked with Justin Hartley as my partner in crime. He is now the star of Tracker. And my confrontations with Victor Newman, played by Eric Braeden, I always enjoyed. He's one of my favorites." The actor is thrilled to have a new favorite partner in crime, Colleen Zink, who portrays poor Claire's crazy Aunt Jordan. "She's been wonderful," Wise said. "She's a veteran of many, many years, and I certainly appreciate everything that she's done in the past. We just have the greatest time together." Jordan has already had her own turn at going head-to-head with Victor Newman, and now the two are secretly immersed in a grand scheme to once again wreak havoc on the unsuspecting citizens of Genoa City. As the show's executive producer/head writer, Josh Griffith, explained to Digest, they were the ones behind what happened to Heather, with the intent of it driving Sharon to confess so that she will be separated from her children. That part of their plot is pure Ian, and he is hungry for all the gory details about how miserably Maria and Faith are reacting to discovering that their mom is a killer. But there will eventually be quid pro quo, with Ian helping Jordan get revenge against her targets. On Wednesday's episode, viewers learned that Ian was released from prison and can roam about freely, and he arranged for Jordan's freedom, the details of which we don't exactly know, but she has to remain disguised. One thing is certain though, no one is safe in Genoa City. It's kind of wide open, teased-wise, and everybody realizes that I'm just in town to cause as much trouble as I possibly can. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Phyllis Summers could eventually change her perspective when it comes to Sharon Newman and what she's actually guilty of. Up to now, Phyllis has been 100% convinced Sharon is responsible for Heather Stevens' demise. Since Sharon confessed and got arrested, Phyllis will feel vindicated over that news and will hope all this ends with Sharon behind bars. Of course, Sharon also believes she ran Phyllis off the road, but Jordan is to blame for that instead. Jordan has been carrying out Ian Ward's orders and apparently wiped Heather off the map as part of their plot too. However, Phyllis doesn't know about any of that and will continue to unleash her fury on Sharon. Following Phyllis' hospital ordeal, she'll be more fired up than ever about taking Sharon down for her crimes. That said, something's brewing that could be a game-changer according to Y&R head writer and executive producer Josh Griffith. In an interview with Sod, Griffith hinted at a twist that could affect Phyllis' point of view. After Griffith discussed Phyllis' rage over Sharon's actions, including her belief that Sharon tried to kill her, he suggested that Phyllis' desire for payback will be affected by a curveball. So Phyllis is just going to be a firebrand of anger and desire to see Sharon pay, until something throws another wrench into that. Get ready. I've got a couple more wrenches to throw, Griffith teased. In other words, Phyllis will be craving revenge until some shocker comes along to potentially change her mind. What if Phyllis ends up being the one to prove Sharon's innocence in a stunning twist? It's possible that Phyllis will be the first one to spot Jordan in Genoa City. Maybe Phyllis could even be the one to uncover Jordan's partnership with Ian and score evidence of what they've been up to. It'd be interesting if Phyllis ultimately played detective and cleared Sharon's name. It's true that Sharon got rid of Heather's body and set Daniel up, but the person who actually caused Heather's grim fate and tried to wipe out Phyllis is far more culpable. Will Phyllis find out that person is Jordan and discover her sneaky alliance with Ian? Our Y&R predictions point to some chaos playing out no matter what, so don't miss all the surprises headed Phyllis' way. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Phyllis may have to shift her attention to someone other than Sharon down the road, namely Jordan and Ian, so stay tuned for updates on all the drama. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Nick Newman may have a chance to play the hero as Jordan and Ian Ward's scheme heats up. Y&R could be positioning Nick for a dramatic rescue plot that'll end with one final face-off with the villainous duo. Nick already senses that maybe things aren't quite as they seem when it comes to guilty Sharon Newman. Despite Sharon's confession, Nick feels like there has to be another layer to all this, and he's right about that. Since Nick suspects this all goes back to Sharon's altered medications, he'll inevitably be proven right. Jordan and Ian may be responsible for Sharon's disturbing path if they're the ones who messed with her meds. However, Nick could do more than help rescue Sharon from prison. Perhaps Nick could ultimately help rescue Sharon's daughter, along with Victoria Newman's daughter when a hostage crisis erupts. Y&R spoilers indicate that Mariah Copeland and Claire Newman will become major targets down the road. Ian and Jordan will go after them both, so who will save Claire and Mariah when the time comes? It's easy to imagine Nick taking the lead here. There's no way Nick will let Sharon face the devastation of losing another child, so he'll certainly be motivated to step up and save Mariah from a fatal outcome. Of course, Nick won't want Victoria to lose the daughter she finally found again either. Claire has become an important part of the Newman family, so Nick will surely fight to protect her too if this turns into a rescue situation. Nick might get some help from people like Cole Howard and Victor Newman, but he could still lead the charge when it comes to saving the day. Bottom line, if Mariah and Claire get stuck in a hostage crisis, thanks to Ian and Jordan's twisted ways, they're going to need a hero. We'll bring you more predictions on whether Nick will fill that role as this storyline moves along. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Nick will get updates on some jaw-dropping news somewhere down the line, so don't miss all the Jordan and Ian revelations that are looming. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that many fans were overjoyed to see the return of villainous duo. Naturally, we're talking about devious Jordan and the equally conniving Ian Ward now that they're scheming together in Genoa City. In a new interview with SOD, and our head writer and executive producer Josh Griffith admitted that Sharon Newman was never intended to be Heather Stevens' actual killer. Sharon was not going to be a murderer, Griffith said. That's why we very carefully laid it out so that we did not see the actual murder, and we had her wake up and find Heather's body. Josh Griffith eventually settled on Jordan and Ian's surprise partnership, which became a major revelation for the audience. The goal was for the audience to see these criminal masterminds together and immediately know they must be to blame. Griffith confessed that he was pleased with fans who quickly realized something was off about Sharon blacking out before discovering the body. It was supposed to be a huge clue that things weren't quite as they seemed. Of course, Sharon isn't totally innocent, at least based on what's played out so far. We can't forget that Sharon got rid of the body and ultimately framed Daniel Romalotti Jr. to make it look like he was responsible for Heather's demise. On social media, plenty of viewers have been pointing all that out and insisting they're not willing to give Sharon a total pass. Sharon may not be guilty of wiping Heather off the map or causing Phyllis Summers' crash, but she still played a huge role in Daniel and Lucy Romalotti's suffering. However, Josh Griffith insisted more twists are coming that'll help undo the damage to Sharon's character. If you're feeling like Sharon's character has been ruined, or at least derailed significantly, just give the show a little time to turn things around. I knew that was going to be a tricky move to play, but once other levels of what's happened to her and what Ian and Jordan have set in motion come to light, fans can be able to breathe another sigh of relief, Griffith promised. It sounds like Jordan and Ian may have had a hand in Sharon's altered meds fiasco and driven her down this out-of-control path. Sharon clearly hasn't been in her right mind, so it may be revealed that Ian and Jordan are to blame for that too. Our and our predictions point to Sharon facing tons of shocking news once the depth of Ian and Jordan's deception is exposed. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon's character will undergo a major cleanup as even more revelations come to light. So stick with us for updates on all shockers ahead. Young and Restless is coming off a week of epic drama that saw the returns of baddies Jordan Howard and Ian Ward, major shifts on the corporate front, Sharon's confession to killing Heather, a car crash that left Phyllis's life in the balance, and more. Soap Opera Digest checked in with the show's head writer/executive producer, Josh Griffith, for the inside scoop of what fans can expect next for the citizens of Genoa City. Double trouble. It's been fun, the exit grins of unfurling the twist that Sharon did not, in fact, kill Heather. Rather, Jordan and Ian had teamed up to plot against her. We always knew going in that there was going to be another killer, Griffith confides. Sharon was not going to be a murderer. That's why we very carefully laid it out, so that we did not see the actual murder, and we had her wake up and find Heather's body. As for the critical step of determining who did do it, I knew that it needed to be somebody who not only we could come up with motive for the killing, but that also the reveal would be massive, Griffith notes. It wouldn't just be, oh, who's that? And I started looking into, historically, who had a beef with the Newmans. And we landed on Ian Ward, and then I started thinking. I actually watched Strangers on a Train, the Hitchcock film, because I'm a Hitchcock fanatic. I hadn't watched it in a while, and I started thinking about the idea of crisscross, which is important in that movie. You do my crime, and I'll do yours. And I said, Wouldn't it be interesting if Ian had an accomplice that equally needed something to happen because they were angry and they felt they'd been wronged? And I said, well, we've got Jordan in prison. In a nutshell, the idea is that these two wonderful villains, who both have reasons to want revenge in Genoa City, would find each other and team up. It seemed perfect, and that this murder could be the catalyst for the whole thing. As we were putting the pressure on Sharon, and we were slowly starting to reveal that things were not exactly as she thinks they are, at the perfect point, we would then reveal to the audience these two mastermind criminals. They must be behind it. They must have something to do with it. Eagle-eyed viewers had noticed from the start that Sharon had no conscious memory of committing murder, and Griffith says that was by design. As I was crafting it, I said, I'm hoping they're gonna say, wait a minute, something's off here. She woke up and found the body. So that fans keyed into that, I was delighted. Griffith was also delighted at the prospect of seeing the actors who portray Ian and Jordan, Ray Wise and Colleen Zink, tearing up the scenery together. I said, these two are gonna be just absolutely delicious together, and the ramifications throughout Genoa City as we slowly reveal their plans. It is just going to be a powder keg of excitement. While Sharon may be off the hook for murder, her hands aren't exactly squeaky clean, as she has worked to pin her crime on Daniel. Assures Griffith, I knew that was going to be a tricky move to play, but once other levels of what's happened to her and what Ian and Jordan have set in motion come to light, fans can be able to breathe another sigh of relief. To preserve the secret, Y&R's creative team took extra precautions to make sure the villains' returns didn't leak before they were shown on air. We were very careful that the characters' names didn't appear in scripts or in any kind of internal documents, he reports. But this is a team that understands the importance of keeping the secret under wraps, he notes. Our team knew. We've got to sit on this because the reveal is going to be too great. We've got a good group here that knows how to keep a secret. It took little coaxing to get Zink and Wise on board with making comebacks. Colleen was just waiting for the call, he says. It's been so recent, since she was last on, and she was like, when can I come back? When can I come back? And when I told her, she was very excited. Making the overture to Wise marked Griffith's first interaction with the actor. I hadn't met Ray, because I wasn't here the last times that he was here playing Ian, he explains. And it was such a thrill for me to meet him, because this is Leland Palmer from Twin Peaks. So I got him to tell me all kinds of David Lynch, the legendary co-creator and co-executive producer of Twin Peaks and celebrated film director stories, and it was a great meeting. And then I told him what I was planning, and he was delighted. Innocent act. On Friday's episode, Sharon, distraught and panicked, thinking that she was responsible for Phyllis's car wreck, confessed to Nick that she killed Heather. Why was it time for her to confide in someone with an actual pulse, and not only discuss her misdeeds with a hallucinated version of Cameron? Says Griffith of Sharon's fragile state of mind, she's been holding it together, but then every time she thinks she's in the clear, something else happens. Now, she's worried that maybe she ran Phyllis off the road, and it's just gotten to a point where she can't keep it in anymore. And she knows the one person who is going to understand what she's gone through has got to be Nick. And he adds, it was very important for me that in the moment where she is now confessing, we are also revealing to the audience, okay, there's another level to this, and she may be confessing, but we know that she didn't do it. The Sharon/Phyllis rivalry has been revving back up as Phyllis seeks to prove that Sharon is the reason her son Daniel stands accused of killing Heather. Making Nick and Phyllis integral to the next arc of Sharon's story was a top priority for Griffith as he laid out how the plot is going to unfold. The whole genesis of this charts back to the night Cassie died, and that loss of Cassie is what propelled Nick and Phyllis to have an affair, he reminds. It all goes back to that moment, and there was no question that they had to be key players in this next arc. them and Daniel. And to hear Griffith tell it, even a massive car crash isn't going to keep Phyllis from trying to save her son. We've now gotten to a point where, in Phyllis's mind, Sharon has tried to ruin Daniel's life, and now it's come all the way to her being targeted, to the point where she's even tried to kill me. So Phyllis is just going to be a firebrand of anger and desire to see Sharon pay. Until, he hints, something throws another wrench into that. Get ready, I've got a couple more wrenches to throw. As for Nick, he can't quite bring himself to believe that Sharon is actually capable of having offed Heather. I think that he knows that something is off with her. He knows something is wrong. Griffith assesses, but in his gut, he can sense, because of their history and their connection, that it's not of her doing. He senses that there's an outside force, because there's no way, even in her darkest periods of psychological trauma, does he believe that she would go to this place. He adds, Nick's suspicion is the right suspicion. He's the only one who really has the true right instinct as to what's going on, because their connection is that strong. But is that connection the result of their years of history, or could it speak to a possibly romantic rekindling for Nick and Sharon? Teases Griffith, I think it could possibly be all of the above. Danger Zone. My and our audiences will learn more this week about the dastardly agenda that Jordan and Ian intend to carry out where Sharon is concerned. But should other Genoa City residents be watching their backs? Do the duo have other targets in their crosshairs? It's the entire Newman family, declares Griffith. They all need to watch their back. But I think Mariah and Claire, specifically. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that one of Sharon Newman's biggest worries about confessing to Heather Stevens' murder was losing Nick Newman for good. She went ahead and did it anyway, and in an interesting turn of events, it seems as if the chic bond might be stronger than ever. Could this rub Summer Newman the wrong way? The Young and the Restless spoilers. Summer Newman could resent her father. Y and R spoilers hint that animosity will rise when it comes to Phyllis Summers, her children, and Nick. Sharon's confession not only pointed to being responsible for Heather's demise, but she also admitted she was trying to frame Daniel Romalotti. Daniel's life got flipped upside down when he found out he lost Heather. Getting arrested for her murder added insult to injury. Plus, poor Lucy Romalotti was sent away to avoid the chaos and drama. She didn't even get the chance to attend her own mother's memorial. It's natural for Daniel, Phyllis, and Summer to be upset with Sharon and her actions, but how will they feel toward Nick? Nick may not be overly upset that Phyllis and Daniel are disappointed, but how will he feel about Summer? The two have always been super close. Y and R spoilers. Will this cause a rift between Summer and Faith Newman? This situation also complicates things between Summer and her half-sister, Faith Newman. For the most part, the sisters have stayed out of their mother's drama, but due to the nature of the situation, it looks like they'll get dragged in. Nick has always been an excellent father and supportive ex-husband. He's continued to do his best to stay present within both blended families, but as Phyllis, and likely Summer, will have a "if you're not with me, you're against me" attitude, could Summer end up cutting both Nick and Faith out of her life for good? Will this situation place a wedge between Summer and Nick? Join the conversation below.